Well, hello, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die Sorcery Mod Intro to Fire Part 3. And today I am going to go over some of the runes that you can make, some of the runes that you can find in loot only, and also go over the scrolls. We've already done the potions and the spellcaster and staff in Part 2, and Part 1 was a video to show you how to get a good jump start on the day in Fire for day 1. Alright, so with that, let's get into the Enchanting Table. Alright, so with the Enchanting Table, you do want to put in your hammers up here as you find them in loot or make them yourself. That will allow you to access these two branches right here, which all require the fire hammer or the ice hammer to make. So if you're wondering where these go, it is inside of the Enchanting Table. For the first ones here, you will not need any of the hammers. Alright, in order to make runes, you will need to go to the Sorcery tree and put your points into Rune Mastery. So at each level, you will unlock different types of runes that you can create. For now, I'm going to go ahead and max it out, and then I'm going to go into the runes and show you which ones you can make. So when you look at your runes, if they have no coloration or they're blank like this, then those you can make with 1 point. Only one skill point is needed. With these silver outlines, you need 3 skill points. So nothing happens at 2. Then when you put in 3 points, you get these ones done here. So there's actually, you can see quite a few that are unlocked with just level 1, and then with level 3 right here. Scavenger Room is also level 3. And then when you jump up to level 5, you can start making the ones with the gold on the outside. So with 1, 3, and 5 skill points, that's what unlocks all of them. Right now, this is an oversight. That you cannot create this one right here. This will be fixed in a future update, so just know that one there. Alright, so that also translates to the runes of fire and ice. You can see most of these do have gold or the silver. And there's a couple that you can make with only the 1 skill point. But most are either the silver or gold level. And same thing with the ice as well. So if you're wondering what skill level you need to make each rune, just look for that outline. That'll help serve as your guide. Alright, so now we want to see what some of these runes actually do. I'm not going to go over each and every one. I'm just going to kind of go over my favorites and kind of give you an example of how they work. And then you can decide whether you actually want to use them or not. And of course, discover the other ones. So for this purpose, I'm going to bring in some better gear. Alright, to get started, I brought in some of these elements that you can find in the game or you can make yourself, just to show you some of my favorite runes to make, specifically starting with the ones for the fire staff or ice staff, whichever one you want to use. Now, a lot of these runes, when you make them, once you put them into an item, they cannot come back out, so they are one and done. So I like to save some of them until I make the level 6 because they're a little expensive to make. Specifically the Drain Health, Drain Spirit, and Drain Stamina, because they take Omni Blood, and to make Omni Blood you need 1 of each of the Fallen Bloods. It's a little bit more pricey to make, so that's why I kind of hold off on that, but that's totally up to you if you want to do that. So we're going to start off with the Drain Health. So we just need 2 of the Omni Blood, so Omni Extract, and 10 health potions. So we're definitely going to make that one. I like the Drain Spirit as well, and you need 2 Omni Blood, 10 Spirit Potions, and again a Omni Extract. So we'll craft that one as well. And we're going to do the Drain Stamina as well. Very similar to Omni Blood, 100 Omni Extract, and the Stamina Potion. Okay. Alright, and then I also like to use, and by the way, those were the gold ones, so those you can only make when you're level 5. I like to make the door Shatter as soon as possible, so putting 3 points into the rune crafting for this one. So you need 1 brass doorknob, some 50 extract. And I like this one because it's so cheap to make that you can put this in, even if you have to upgrade your weapon, you can just make another one. Brass doorknobs are not hard to find in the game. The second one that I like to do is the Lock Shatter rune. This one takes the 5 lockpicks, which can be tricky to get early game, too many. But again, I like this one. It helps you open any locks that you find very, very quickly. Alright, so we're going to start with those. And then I also use my rune a lot for mining. And it looks like I'm going to need some stone, coal, nitrate powder, and some lead. So let's get all of that together. Alright, so the last one I'm going to do here is the Augmented mining rune. Okay, so we're gonna pull all these out for now. And then we're also going to do the Augmented logging rune. Very easy to make with just the wood. The wood and the extract. And then the digging one as well. So just to show you all the different runes that you can put into your spellcast. Or, I'm sorry, into your fire staff. The other one that you can also put in is your Indestructible Rune, which actually, because it's a magical weapon, it will not make it indestructible. That is really for like your mining equipment, your guns, things like that. It'll actually make those indestructible. The other one that you can also put into your fire staff is the Recall rune to allow you to transport home just by hitting the F button while you have your staff out. Could be handy to use there too. Alright, so we got all of those runes. We're going to go into the staff. We're going to hit modify. And I'm going to hold down shift and click. And I'm going to show you a problem that you come across. You can kind of hear that. Once you shift and click one of the, like the mining rune or the logging or the digging, you have to manually put them in after that. So if you shift click them all in, just know that you can still put them in manually. So now I have all 8 runes in my staff, and I cannot take any of them out. These are all permanent now. Okay. But if you noticed, the damage increase has greatly increased by 15 points. And now my weapon will really assist me in killing zombies, as well as draining stamina and health. And I'm going to demo that right now for you. We're going to get 3 of those guys. We're going to let them hit me once or twice to drain some damage. Okay. And you can see I just took some health straight up from them. It's not every hit, if you notice. Let's go back to the description here. Modify. Alright, so a 40% drain chance with a 5-second cooldown. And that is true with all of them. So you have a 40% chance to drain health, spirit, or stamina. So now that we demoed a little bit about hitting the zombies with the staff, now let's go find some things to mine up and some doors and some locks that we can shatter to show you the effectiveness of those runes. So let's go first go find a POI with some locked doors. Alright, so for this example, there's going to be a locked chest down there. And we're going to go down here and break into it after we kill these zombies really fast. They should pile out here. Including the cop here. Alright, perfect. Alright, so you can see that it's locked. In one hit, we did a lot of damage. 2 hits, and we are inside this locked chest. So this is the advantage of the Lock Shatterer rune. And then the extra damage done by the staff allows you to break into the boxes pretty darn quick. Not quite 1 hit, but very close. Alright, so right here we actually have a locked door here. Just 1 hit. one hit and I'm already inside. That's how effective this can be. No door stands a chance. Now you can move through all of these POIs that much quicker. Oh yeah, getting wrecked here. Okay, so she took some damage, but I took a little bit of drain there, so... Again, right back out. Alright. So those are the rune effects, the door shatter, lock shatterer, and you also saw the effects of all of these. And then for mining, it just really gives you the nice boost when harvesting a tree, or even digging in the ground. So this, again, your staff can be your multiple purpose item here, where you can harvest both rock, stone, clay, as well as trees. So there's no need to be carrying around extra weapons or extra tools. Although you do want to carry around the fire essence, though, to keep this thing repaired. You will absolutely need and want to do that. Alright, so in order to find all these doors, I actually came up to this town here, and I want to get back to my bed here. So the very first scroll that I'm going to show you is actually this one right here, which is the Recall Incantation. Got to make sure you have a bedroll. But when you click it, automatically teleports you back to your bedroll. So my bedroll was inside of this house because I did not move it to my new base. So I appeared on the roof above it. So just something you kind of have to get used to. But either which way, I ended up much closer to where I was setting up my new supplies, which I think was right over here. Maybe I should move my bedroll. Okay, so far I've showed you a lot of the scrolls that you can put into your fire staff or your ice staff. I didn't show you all of them, but I did show you most. Another one I want to show you is the Scavenger Rune. I'm going to go ahead and make that. You need the Scavenger Scroll, 5 of, actually just one, and then the Omniblood one. So we'll make that one. And then also the Arcane Vision Rune. You need 5 Arcane Vision Scrolls and 3 Omniblood. Again, this is a gold ranked one right here, so you need the 5 skill points. We're going to make that one. And now I need something like a wrench or impact driver that I want to put the Scavenger Rune onto. Alright, so we also have the Arcane Vision Rune, and I'm going to put this one to work right away. So I'm going to show you the Arcane Vision Rune, and this one's going to go inside of the Arcane Sorcerer Shades, or any magical shades actually, any shades. It actually will say that right here, so Sorcerer Shades. So we're going to modify that, put that in there. So with this rune in effect, I will be able to see the Fallen or the Wisps from a distance. They'll show up, and I will show you when I happen to see one. And then when nighttime comes, I'll get that night vision. Not like night vision goggles, but just like the scroll where it's slightly kind of purplish. But for now, I want to go ahead and demo the salvage rune. So we're gonna loot this car, and this is full speed right here. This is no points in Scavenger though. Okay. So now we're going to modify this. We're going to put the Scavenger Rune inside. Just says there's a little bit of damage increase, but what you'll notice is much faster and more loot. The speed at which you loot increases greatly. So the fire staff and the ice staff, the only things they do not do is wrench. They mine, they chop wood, they do all of that, break doors, break safes, but they won't wrench apart a car. And you still need some type of wrench, and that is where this rune comes in handy. And as you can see, it became 2200, and my Arcane Vision rune went into effect. So now, even though it's nighttime, I can see pretty well. And what we're going to do is we're going to look around until we see some Fallen. Alright, so this is the Arcane Vision rune in effect. You can actually see the wisp and see how it has that little emblem there. Lets you know where it is. Oh, and I looted it really fast. That was awesome. And then if you actually go to your map, you'll actually see it on your mini map as well. Oh, here comes somebody. Alright. Perfect. Alright, so we'll keep looking to see if we could find a Fallen. Actually, I may just spawn one in so you can see it. That might just be easier. So when you come across a wild Fallen, you'll see the little pentagram there. And then it'll actually show up on your map as well. It's a nice warning when you're out exploring. You'll see that behind buildings. No matter what, you'll see where they are. They cannot hide from you with either the scroll working or the rune working. Alright, and just because she's here, let's kill her. It's fun. Knock him down, then loot him. That's always the best method. Everybody wanted in on that action right there, it looks like. Alright. Some average loot there. Alright, let's go back. Alright, so that was the Scavenger Rune and the Arcane Vision Rune in action. As you can see, there are plenty others here to choose through. Lucky Ammo. If you have this in any of your armor or clothing, it increases the amount of loot that you find. This is the same thing with potions. It'll increase the amount of potions you find. The Silence Rune can be put into a weapon, any spellcaster turret. And it'll stop the Fallen from healing. That is an excellent one also to have inside of your staff. You could probably do without one of the harvesting ones if you get the chance. That's another good one to have. Now let's move into some of these specialized ones here. I'm not going to go over all of these. Most of them do require some type of blood. In most cases, it's fire blood. The Lucky Fire Essence is one of the ones that you can make with just 1 point. And you can put this into any armor, clothing, tools, or staff weapons. And this will allow you to harvest more or find more Fire Essence. Alright. So actually it looks like all of these would require Fallen Blood. Fire Fallen Blood with that exception. And then with the Ice, the same thing. They all require Ice Blood with the exception of the Lucky Ice Essence. Alright. So your Fire Rune, you actually get one of those for free when you start the Fire Element. That's the one that goes inside of your chest piece. And granting you that Fire Aura, which you can see spread out around me here. And is denoted by this symbol here that you could turn on and off by holding or pressing the F button. Okay. Gives you that fire damage. So fire damage is 8 per second. So everybody within that aura is going to get some damage. The Burning Turret Rune, you put this into your spell turret. You can put it either in the fire or the ice turret. Doesn't matter which one. And it sets up the same type of aura around it to burn the zombies who happen to be walking by the turret. So then you have your Fire Empath Rune. This one goes into your tools and weapons and allows you to find and harvest more essence. Very handy to have as well if you're really looking for that essence boost. Your Fire Nova Caster Rune. So you put this one on your spellcast weapon, so this one here, and when you cast, it has a chance to cast a Fire Nova at your target. So when you hit it with a regular fire spell, it could cast a Fire Nova, which will knock everybody down. Similar to the Power Swing Nova on the Fire Spellcast, or Fire Staff. Another really good one to have for that extra damage when spellcasting. Your Fire Nova Skin. This you put in your armor, and this actually helps you cause damage if you happen to get hit. So same thing, they could hit you and all get knocked down because of a fire blast. Your Fire Skin, this protects you against fire damage, and periodically burns your attackers too. So if you're hunting the Fire Fallen, you can have this in your armor and it will reduce the amount of fire damage you take from them. Fire Caster Rune. So this one you attach to your spellcast weapon, and this can go inside your ice or your fire. And when you cast any spell, it has a chance to also cast the Fire Nado. So you could be using your ice spellcast with this rune, and you can periodically cast a Tornado, a Fire Nado, which is awesome actually. Kind of double spells. This is the same thing, except for you have a chance to cast the Meteor. And then the Starcaller rune goes inside of your spell turret, and it'll periodically rain down meteors as it's shooting the zombies. So another great one to have as support. And you can put that one inside your turret with the burning turret as well. I'm not going to go over each of the ice ones. They basically have the same effects, just the opposite of fire. So instead of using ice, they use fire. But again, you can use these ice ones inside of your fire spellcast. So if you have no intention of using ice or the ice blood for anything else, then you should be making some of these runes to put into your ice fire spellcast. Make ice runes to put into your fire spellcast. Alright, so that really covers a lot of the runes that you can craft. Now there are the transmutation ones, and these are the class runes that you can only find in loot. These are not craftable, except for you can transmute a level 1 to a level 2, or a level 1 to a level 3, vice versa. And each time you do need an Omni Blood, so it's kind of pricey to convert them. But these here all have very good benefits. These are worth having for sure. So one of my favorites is the Ritualist 1. You put this one in the head armor, and it allows you to extract double blood from Fallen. So instead of getting 1 blood, you get 2. This is always really, really good find early game. In fact, if you find part 2 or part 3, it is worth using the Omni Blood to convert it to 1 so that you can extract double blood. It is absolutely worth having that one. And as with all of these, each level, so your level 1 gets you a bonus. If you have the level 2, it gets you a different bonus. And if you have the level 3, it gives you a third bonus. But if you have all 3 equipped, then you get special bonuses. So in this particular set, instead of scrolls lasting 50% longer, if you only had part 1 or piece 1, if you have the whole set, it's double the scroll duration. You loot and harvest 200% more paper instead of 100%. So again, really good benefits to have the whole set. Another great example is the Spell Gunner set. So let's say you don't want to use a fire staff, you don't want to use a fire spell cast, you just want to use guns. Hey, play however you want, but this set is for you. You put the 3 pieces, the Gunner 1, Gunner 2, Gunner 3, into your gloves, and all of your bullets have a high chance to explode, freeze, or electrocute your foes, and bullets will always burn, chill, and shock foes. In fact, this is so awesome that I am going to demo this for you actually right now. Alright, so I have 1 of each. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the gloves here. Complete that. And now I have the Spell Gunner set. Alright, so for this demo, I'm just going to have the lonely level 1 pistol here. We all know these guns are weak. Oh, look. I actually have some zombies to go kill with this. Let's watch the effect. So they are all burning, chilling, and they have a chance to explode or electrocute. And you can just watch the extra damage being done. Now all of a sudden, this gun becomes a very good weapon, and I do not have to use anything special. No extra ammo, just all regular stuff here. Let's see that again, because that was fun. I like this. So we're going to do 25 zombie Arlenes. We're going to see how fast I can kill them. Oh, she got a cheap shot on me. Alright, all gone. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, so that is one of my favorite class rune sets. Let's go look at a couple more. Alright, so that was the Spell Gunner. We also have the Spelled Knight rune, and this can go inside of any inside your leg armor, but will cause the same effect on any melee weapon. So if you have one of each, if you have one of each of these in your leg armor, you can use any weapon, any melee weapon, to burn, chill, and shock foes with the chance to explode, freeze, or electrocute. So same thing, similar to the gun, you can use a baseball bat and still cause the spell damage, which is great. One of the first ones up here is the Alchemy class set. So you can increase your potency for your potions. You also get, with the level 2, 100% crop harvesting. So you combine this with living off the land, and you can really be harvesting a lot more crops. And then if you have all three, you get double the potion potency and triple, I know that's hard to see right there, but it says triple all crop harvest. So again, worth having the whole set, and this goes inside your Sorcerer bandana. Alright, you also have an Enchanter Set, which is pretty handy. This will increase your rune effectiveness. So whatever benefit the rune has, it'll increase it. It'll level 2 will decrease the burden cost on your spirit. And this one, the last one, will allow the material that you put it in. So if you put it in any of your armor, it'll degrade slower. And then of course, if you have all three, rune degradation is completely removed. You double all rune effectiveness and half the rune burden cost. So again, another one that's worth having. This goes inside of your head armor. So all of these are loot only from the Fallen. So, and the Fallen camps, you can get them from the chests that are in the Fallen camps. So it is worth hunting the Fallen just to get these spellcasts, or to get all of these class runes. Alright, now we're going to move on to the Sorcerer Desk, where you can make scrolls. A lot of these scrolls will do the same thing that some of those runes do, but on a temporary basis, and they are a lot easier to make. All you need for most of these is paper and some Omni extract, and sometimes one extra ingredient, like in this particular case, clay soil or small stone. But for the Augmented XP, it'll last a base amount of time, 15 minutes, which increases with the more points that you put into scrolls. So you have this one, you have your essence find. So if you're going mining on for essence, you want to take one of these, you'll get a nice boost to the essence. And then just like the Spell Gunner runes that we were looking at, you can pop one of these at any time, and all of your bullets will do fire damage. Or if you're using, like I said, a baseball bat, you can use the fire weapon scroll, and every hit will hit with the power of fire. Same thing here with the ice or even the lightning. So if you're early game and you don't have a staff, or you're using another weapon, I do recommend popping these all the time, having one of these going at all times to get that extra damage. Even if you're using the fire staff, you can use the ice weapon scroll, and your fire staff will hit with the power of ice as well. You can also have lightning going at the same time to get that extra damage. Now you also have scroll versions of those runes that I showed you earlier. All very handy to have. You find these all over the place in the game, in cabinets, in trash sometimes, bookshelves. So these are really good loot. I'm not going to show you what each of them does because I've already kind of demoed them in the rune form. But just know if you don't put points into the rune crafting, you can put them into scroll making and get some of the same effects just with limited time. Also, like I said, the class rune sets are very hard to find. You can get some of the same effects, at least temporarily, by using the scrolls. So my recommendation is always have a stack of scrolls going, ready to use, especially your Arcane Vision scroll until you get that rune, because you never want to be surprised by a fallen. And another one to always have is the Augmented XP scroll, so you can always get that experience boost, which also becomes very handy. All right. So there you have it. This will complete this series on the Intro to Fire. In part 1, we did show off how to get a good start for day 1 in the fire element. In part 2, we went over the potions. We went over fire spells. We went over the fire staff and the spell cast, what you can do with those. And in this one, of course, we went over the runes and the scrolls. So as always, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos and my live streams that I do. I have a nice playthrough going through. Check that out. Otherwise, I will catch you guys on another episode.